Alright, Wednesday, July 10th, wrap-up video from Greatstockpix.com. This is going to be a short one. I didn't make many calls today. We had the FOMC minutes released in the afternoon, so I was pretty much a morning trader. But MCP looked like this going into today, so it was on watch because you had the high volume gap up here, you had a flag, and then kind of a gap up yesterday. So it was on long watch. Now look what it did today. Huge move. Now I'm going to show you on an intraday basis how I called it. Now, unfortunately, these are 5-minute candles. Unfortunately, I was not watching this at the open. I do have what I call a morning smash and grab play. Look at that opening volume. Okay, I mean, I had several stocks on watch. MCP was one of them. And 500,000 shares in the first 5 minutes. You can, let me get that, scoot that over one. I'm perfectly comfortable grabbing this on this candle. Okay, we already know it's got a lot of shorts in it. The chart looks good, and you get 500,000 in the first 5 minutes. I'm perfectly comfortable grabbing this anywhere on that opening 5 minutes. Kind of a morning Tokyo or morning smash and grab play. Stop's always going to go just at the low of the day. You know, even if you got it at the high of this first 5-minute candle, 6:30, stop goes 6:13. However, I didn't call it like that. I was watching something else. I traded something else and made a sandwich out of it early, and so I neglected to see MCP. But still found a way in for myself and for the chat room. What happened was, you know, I said, hey, this one, it feels like it could short, you know, get a short squeeze. And it definitely has a lot of shorts. Let me switch to 2-minute candles real quick. All right, there you go. So I knew I wanted in this one because I knew it had a chance to squeeze. So you had this big move. These are 2-minute candles now. And this blue line here is the 8-period moving average on 2-minute candles. Really strong stocks tend to bounce off of that. So when I saw it coming down here, I wanted to get a really low risk entry, and so I switched actually at the time to 1-minute candles. Let me do that. All right, there it is. It's almost an X-ray technique. You know, the smaller time frame candles take you kind of inside of the longer time frame candles. So you notice here on 1-minute candles, you had consecutive lower highs. You had this nice little green narrow 1-minute candle. I called it long over that. Okay, so if it got over this little green 1-minute candle, that's my entry. 6:33, and the stop is going to go below this at 6:28, and there's the trigger. Next thing you know, we're good. And remember, the stop right below this candle right here, and I'll switch to 5s now, and that literally was right here. That's where the stop was. Never stopped out from 6:33, went all the way to 7:10. I don't even know what percentage gain that is, but it's huge percentage gain on a $6 stock. And you can see there, it could be multi-day, but we had a real nice trade in that this morning. I didn't have much else to brag about today. I had, like I said, I made a sandwich on an early trade. I took a flat on ADT, LRCX. This one was strong, and so what I try to do in the mornings is make a list of strong stocks. And when it looked like this, actually like this, I told everybody LRCX is right down here at the 8-period moving average, clean pullback. It's forming a green candle basically at the 5/8. What I mean by that is the 5-minute candle, 8-period moving average. That's an area where we look for a bounce on a strong stock, and that was the low of the pullback, kind of like MCP on ones. And anyone that took that even around 48.50, it went up a buck from there with a fairly tight stop. But that I didn't give an official trigger and stop on that. I'm just pointing it out. And then I took the old bounce plays that I used to be known for, and I still do it. Pandora. I noticed that this thing was getting killed, and we had what we call shape change. Okay, it's just grinding lower. Then you had this little hiccup, and then another push down. That's what a final push, and you see the volume there too. That's what a final push on an intraday basis can look like. And so just using 2-minute candles here, I'll do that right now. I took it right over this green candle with a low of day stop, and then I called it for the room, 18.16, stop 18.02, and it doesn't look like much, but it grinded all the way up to a 30-cent move, maybe something like that, in our favor before going back down. And I did the same thing late in the day on Delta Airlines, called it right around the top of this red candle, 18.63 with a low of day stop. And again, didn't do much. So that's why I say nothing really to brag about, but I did catch the low on both of those of the day. Well, no, Pandora wasn't the low of the day. This is where I called Pandora. But it wasn't until hours later after FOMC that it finally took out the lows, which incidentally, Pandora's on bounce watch tomorrow. A couple big days down to the 20-day moving average, and so that's on bounce watch. B-Turk, one of our all-stars, called LPX right here early on at 15.95, so right about there. Made a good, 50-cent move after that. And I think that's about all I have for this video. That was the entry that B-Turk called. Yeah, looking at my notes, that's about it. But MCP was the only trade I needed. And like I said, I had a couple good bottom feeding plays with Pandora. Delta Airlines was okay, but MCP was the big one for me today. And that's it. That was the highlights from today. Nice green day, though, and that's all that matters. I'll quit babbling, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.